Okay, check that out. What was I doing there that was different from the last part of our lesson? I wasn't really hardly moving at all. I wasn't playing a lot of melody with my chords. I was kind of keeping the chords real static, and there wasn't a lot of motion to the chords. But what was I doing? I was playing on the low end of the chords. I was playing on the low end of the guitar, and I was playing with a rock attitude, okay? And what I'm trying to get at today is we're going to learn that sometimes simple triadic forms of chords are even too sophisticated for certain kinds of music. Sometimes we want a chord that's literally just one, like two notes. And the best two notes, if you're going to play a simple chord that still make it sound like a chord, are the root and the fifth, okay? Listen to this sound right here. There's a root, third, fifth, reduced to just root and fifth. Right? There's a certain simple logic in that sound, especially when you put a little distortion to it. It sounds great. You could even double one of the octaves, and then you'd have root, fifth, root. Okay, so what I'm talking about here, people, is what are called power chords, or a power chord. A power chord is nothing more than just the root and the fifth of a triad, okay? So they're ambiguous, meaning they're not clearly defined as major or minor. They might be implied in the chord progression as major or minor, but you don't really know for sure whether that's a minor triad or major triad because there's no third in the chord. But that's okay. Sometimes we want an ambiguous quality to a chord, and we want more of the bottom end. So you can see what I've got over here on my board. It's just literally the root and the fifth of a E bar chord, or in this case a G bar chord, but from the E form. Right? You just take all this top stuff off, and you just play the bottom part, and that's what you're left with. There's the root right here, and this is the fifth on top. And likewise, when we go to the A form, and you get rid of all the stuff on top, and you just hit the bottom root and fifth, you get that shape right here. Notice it is exactly the same shape as the E bar chord. Okay, and once again, when you go to the D string, where you would have normally have had this kind of a chord in this position, and you reduce it to just root and fifth, you get, and again, the same exact shape. Okay, so we've got power chords that look exactly the same right here, all available on the bottom three strings. And I think most of the time you can make the argument that they're played on the bottom two specifically. Right? You can play these on the D string, but they start to lack the bottom end that these bottom chords do. Okay? And you can also incorporate the open power chords here. And check out, you've probably seen me playing this in the last example there, where you have an open A, and an E here is essentially the same as doing this. Is this. Okay, but now you've got the full length of the A string ring, so it's a little bit more sustained. And then you can also add one more octave above, and you can get the A in the top. So that reminds you perhaps of that part of the lessons that we had where we covered blues. But anyway, it's also effective as just a power chord. And we've got an open E version of this. And then an open D version of it. Okay, so we've got A, D, and E, just as power chords in the open position, which would be played A, E in the fretted position. So what's good about these open positions too is you can play these chords and you can combine other notes with them. You can play riffs around the open power chord. So you can play. Okay, so there's a lot of capability at adding other possibilities inside the power chords. Okay, so we're going to spend a lot more time working on the power chords, but that's really, we're going to add them to our lesson today that we had, where we played, the beginning of our lesson had this. Remember that? Okay, so what I want you to do now for our first introduction to power chords is simply go back to our chart here. And let's see if we can play along. And just go ahead and play a D power chord, to an A chord. Let's see how that would sound against our progression. Even though the A is pedaling on the bottom, I think it's going to sound pretty good. So let's just keep it with a low eighth note pattern like this. 3, 4. Go to C and G there. Those are all downstrokes. Yeah, that's another significant aspect of what I'm playing right now, is that I'm playing all downstrokes to keep the sound even and powerful. Okay, so let me go ahead and record this and see what it would sound like if I add my other part on top and see how the parts fit together. Okay, so I'm going to record my power chord thing here first. Here we go. You're going to play along with me using the power chords. 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Next section. Kind of playing a boogie woogie there. There it is right there, recorded. We add the other chord on top now. Doesn't it? Okay, so check it out. Even playing those low power chords didn't get in the way of the upper structure of the triads that we started with at the beginning of the lesson. The full triads, small as they might be, they still were out of the region and the range of the lower stuff I was playing. So you can see how creating heavier kind of guitar chord rhythm can be still put together with a musical approach where you'll hear melody and you'll still hear the power of the chords in the bottom, but you'll hear the upper structures on the top. Okay, so let's try. Okay, we're going to rock out with you here. I want you to combine the triads that we learned with the heavier chords and the power chords on the top. Okay, I'll see you next lesson. Here we go.